Dear friends, welcome to the Wednesday Word on Wednesday the 29th of June. It so happens that as well as Proverbs being our sermon series at the 6:30 service at the moment, I'm reading Proverbs in my daily Bible readings. And last week I came to chapter 3 and perhaps the most well-known verses in Proverbs, beloved by countless generations of Sunday school students and inscribed on many Christian posters and calendars. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6. The first part of this familiar text strikes at the heart of the independence at the root of all of our sin. We love to rely on ourselves, but our understanding is insufficient, and it's frequently skewed. The only safe place is to trust in the Lord. Now, this isn't a Christian version of the power of positive thinking, nor a type of Christian mindfulness leading to greater well-being. It is a whole life commitment with all your heart. Solomon is encouraging us here to abandon our self-centered perspective and to look at the whole of life from the Lord's perspective. This means learning and knowing what the Lord's will is and obeying it regardless of whether it's the popular or in thing to do or not. And his will does not come from some sort of subjective guidance. I just feel that this is what the Lord wants me to do, that sort of idea. But from meditating on his word, hiding that word in our hearts, learning to think God's thoughts after him so that we don't lean on our own understanding. This discipline takes a lifetime, and such understanding does not come quickly, which is why we need each other. One of the best ways to learn to trust the Lord and not to lean on our own understanding is to seek out the counsel of older and wiser Christians and to read Christian books. For instance, how should we react to the recent repeal of the Roe versus Wade legislation in the United States so that there is no longer a federal constitutional right to an abortion? Well, I'm not going to answer that question here, but we ought to be seeking the Lord's understanding on an issue like that, not being swayed merely by the appeal to the human rights agenda. And on the email today, I've put a link to a book that might help you on this very issue. Joshua was required to trust in the Lord in this way in Joshua chapter 1, as were the kings of Israel in Deuteronomy chapter 17. But they rarely did, and the downfall of Israel, as a result, is a constant warning to the church to lean not on our own understanding. The second couplet, in all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight, demands more than simply recognizing that there is a God and that he is in providential control over all things. Rather, it means to so acknowledge him, his ways, his laws and his character, that it shapes our choices and directs our lives. In New Testament terms, it means keeping in step with the Spirit, who dwells in our hearts through faith. In all your ways acknowledge him, not just in the narrowly religious sphere of life, but in all dimensions: work, home, leisure, hobbies, sport, holidays, church, finances, retirement planning, social media use. The list is endless. The alternative is to disown the Lord, and that would be catastrophic. So the second couplet is parallel to the first. The result is a straight course directed by God himself. And we can apply this principle to our own lives, that of our families, our church, and indeed our society. Finally, I would like to thank everybody who contributed so generously to our church day out on Sunday. We had a wonderful time in a magical setting, which has really helped to build our fellowship. God bless you today.